Hey guys, Jehuty here with another Season 4 changelog video. Today we're tackling Katarina, and let's get straight into it. Her new move comes out of Harrier. So Harrier down forward 3. It comes out at 23 frames, it does 20 damage and leaves Katarina at +5 on hit. On block this move is -12, so it's definitely not safe, it can be punished, that was to be expected. And the nice thing is on counter hit, it grants Katarina a guaranteed follow-up in up back 4. I really think this is a good addition because her Harrier stance really wasn't that scary because the low was quite seeable and reactable, so this is a very good addition for Katarina. Let's continue with the Harrier stance with the move I just mentioned. So during Harrier stance 3, by the way, you can do Harrier stance by pressing forward 4. Yeah, so during Harrier stance 3, so what they've done here is increase the upper range of the attack, and so that means that it's been buffed so that this maybe has a bigger hitbox because maybe it was whiffing on some stuff, and then adjusted the motion since it was difficult for opponents in jump status to land a mid attack. So it's more of the consistency changes which we've been seeing in Season 4. So you could see it as a buff and a nerf, but in reality it's just more consistent the way the move actually should work and is intended to work. And then, yeah, let's continue now in chronological order of the rest of the changes, and that's 1-1-2. What's happened here is decreased distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. And this is actually a buff because now that the opponent is closer, and this move is +7 on block, that means Katarina has better pressure after that. She can now have better pressure, because before that the opponents were just too far away for her to actually start something properly with +7 on that distance, so that's definitely a buff. Speaking of pressure, we have down forward 1. Change the frame advantage when the move is blocked from -3 frames to -2. So that's another buff to Katarina's pressure game. So yeah, you've been seeing this move a lot, and now you're going to even be seeing it more because now it's just a bit quicker on recovery. Now we have down forward 2-2. So what's happened here is that emphasis is on the second hits actually. Change the attack startup from 27 frames to 25 frames. So that's a buff because now the move comes out quicker. And then delay the time when the move starts by 1 frame. This sounds like a nerf, but it's actually a buff because there's a mix-up with the next move I'm going to mention, and that means that since it comes out delayed, the opponent will be guessing more. So the other move which you can mix it up with is down forward 2-4. And what's happened here is on the second hit is the emphasis again. Change the startup of the animation from 29 to 30 frames to 26 to 27. So that's a massive buff. Yeah, and the same goes here again. Delay the time when the move starts by 1 frame. So yeah, that additional 1 frame is going to make the opponent guess what are they going to do. So that's definitely a buff for Katarina when it comes to those two moves. Now we have everybody's favorite low poke down forward 3+4 because it covers like considerable distance. What they've done here is adjusted the motion since it was difficult for the opponent in jump status to land a mid attack. So some of the consistency stuff which I said before with moves having low crushing properties that they actually hit. So yeah, a minor nerf. And then we have down 1. What's happened here is increase the distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. In my opinion, this is a buff because this move on block leaves Katarina at -7, so effectively it's actually the opponent's turn to now do something. But now with the increased distance, that means they can't pressure that well anymore, so that's a buff in my opinion. Now we have down 3-4, and what's happened here is change the frame advantage when the move is blocked from -4 to -1 frames, so that's relating to the second hit, the high kick. And yeah, it's a buff for sure, but I don't know how much it's going to actually change Katarina's overall game because it's a natural string. If the first hit hits, the second one connects as well. If you see it coming, you also duck the second one and launch punish her. So yeah, it's a buff, that's for sure, but I don't know how much it's going to change stuff for her. Now we have down back 3. And what's happened here is change the attack startup from 25 to 27 frames to the window of 24 to 25 frames. So now it comes out 1 frame faster when she's the closest to the opponent. And yeah, instead of it, the maximum time being 27 frames, is now 25, so that's a buff. And of course, they've also adjusted the motion since it was difficult for the opponent in jump statuses to land a mid attack. So the same consistency stuff which I'd mentioned before also transferred to this move. And yeah, that same stuff also transfers to the next move, and that is down back 4. So everybody's favorite snake edge. It's the same thing here, adjusted the motion since it was difficult for the opponent in jump status to land a mid attack. So yeah, more of that consistency stuff. Now we have back 3+4, and what's happened here is on the first hit, the move now does more damage. It used to do 10 for the first hit, and now it does 15 damage, which now gives her a total of 35 on the move when the move hits. And in addition to that, they've also increased the move's tracking. So yeah, I thought this move tracked well before, but now it should even track better. So that's a buff for Katarina, especially because it also has evasive properties. So we're almost done. Now let's get into the second last move, which is forward 2-4. And what they've done here is increase the move's forward movement and then decreasing the distance between the character and the opponent. So the way I see it is that now this move will be more consistent in combos, so this is less likely to whiff because she'll just go in a bit further, and that should be more consistent for a combo. So that's a nice little buff for Katarina. And now let's get into the last move. So this is while the enemy is down 3+4. So what's happened here is they've buffed the damage. It used to do 25 damage and now does 28 damage. What you're seeing though is 22 damage, so that's when the opponent is down, but when they're getting up and they get strong, then the move does 28 damage. What's also happened is change the frame advantage when the move is blocked, from -20 frames to -12, so that's like a huge buff. This used to be launch punishable, now it isn't anymore. That's a really huge buff. Then change the frame advantage upon hit from -9 to -1. So on top of that, Katarina recovers way quicker on hit, and she also recovers way quicker on block. So that's a really big buff for this move. By the way, this move is a low, even though it looks like a high. So if you're struggling, just take the laughing as a cue, and then yeah, block low. Expect it, definitely expect it. So that does it for the Katarina Season 4 changes. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching till to the end. Of course, subscribe, because subscription is what helps me the most. Of course, leave a like, and I'd like to know your feedback in the comment section. And this is your boy Jehuty, and I'll see you on the next one.